Okay, students, we already discussed the three functional group in the last classes, that is aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acid. And today we can discuss the new functional group, that is amines. So what is an amine? Amine is actually, it is an organic derivatives of ammonia. We know that ammonia is NH3, and if the three hydrogens in the ammonia is replaced with an alkyl or aryl groups, then we can call it as an amines. If one hydrogen is replaced with an alkyl or aryl group, it is called the primary amines. And if the two hydrogens in the ammonia is replaced with an alkyl or aryl group, then it is called the secondary amines. And the three hydrogen in the ammonia is replaced with an alkyl or aryl group, then it is called the tertiary amine. So here it is given the three amines: primary, secondary and tertiary. And here you can see one hydrogen is replaced with an R, and here the next one you can see the two hydrogens are replaced with an R. The R may be alkyl or aryl group, that is the secondary amines. And the next is the tertiary amine, that is the three hydrogens can be replaced with an alkyl or aryl groups. Next we can go through certain examples for the primary, secondary and tertiary amine. Here it is a primary amine. Here the one hydrogen is replaced with a butyl group. So it is primary amine. So the name IUPAC name is given as butanamine, or the common name is N-butyl amine. And the second is also another amine. Here the one hydrogen is replaced with a terbutyl group, and it is called a terbutyl amine or 2-methyl 2-propanamine. Here one hydrogen is replaced with this group. That is called the primary amine. Here in the secondary amine, the two of the hydrogen in the ammonia is replaced with the one hydrogen is replaced with the CH3 group, that is methyl group, and the other hydrogen is replaced with a propyl group. So it is the CH3, CH2, CH3, and it is a secondary amine, and the IUPAC name is given as N-methyl propanamine. It is also called the methyl propylamine, that is a common name for this secondary amine. And the last one is the tertiary amine, that is N-dimethyl ethanamine, or otherwise called the ethyl dimethylamine. Here all the three hydrogens of the ammonia is replaced with the alkyl group or aryl group. So that is all about what is ammonia. And next we are going to discuss the preparation of amines. The first preparation is by reduction of nitro group, and in this method the nitro group is converted into the primary amines. Here the nitro group is converted into the primary amines. You just note that the nitro group is converting into primary and not to the secondary and the tertiary. So how it is converting? It can be converted, the nitro groups can be converted by two methods, or not two methods, or by two ways, either by the catalytic hydrogenation or by using certain reducing agents. And we can go through what all are the catalysts used for this preparation. And here the catalysts are used here as hydrogen in the presence of palladium or hydrogen in the presence of platinum. The nitro group, that is the RNO2, can be converted into the primary amine, that is RNH2. And here the used other reducing agents can also be used here, such as iron in the presence of HCl or tin in the presence of HCl. Or another important reducing agent is the lithium aluminum hydride, which is a very important reducing agent. And here not only the alkyl nitro group is converted into alkyl amine, here also the aromatic nitro groups are converted into aromatic amines. Here two examples are given. Here this is a nitrobenzene, and in the presence of SnHCl, it is converted into C6H5NH2, that is aniline. And here also one aromatic nitro group is converted into an aromatic amine. So anyway, this is a method, this is a very simple method for the preparation of amine. And the next method, which is a very important method, that is by Hofmann bromamide reaction. It is a named reaction. It is a Hofmann's bromamide reaction. And in this reaction, the amides are converting into amines. Amides are converting into amines. In the last preparation, the nitro groups are converted into amines, and here the amides, amide means RNONH2, and it is converting into primary amines, that is RNH2, and its conversion will take place, or the reaction will take place in the presence of potassium hydroxide NaOH. Can also used in the presence, or this reaction can also done in the presence of NaOH, and at 70 degrees Celsius, and it yields a primary amine, and the primary amine will be in such a way that it consisting of a one carbon less than the parent amide that is taken for this reaction. Anyway, this reaction is known as the Hofmann-bromamide reaction, or otherwise it is called the Hofmann hypobromite reaction, or otherwise it is called the Hofmann degradation reaction. Anyway, these three names are given for this reaction: Hofmann bromamide reaction, Hofmann's hypobromite reaction, and Hofmann's degradation reaction. The reaction is given here it as RCuNH2 plus Br2 plus 4KOH. You are getting the primary amine, and by the removal of K2CO3 plus 2KBr plus 2H2O. Here this is two example for the amides. Here it is an alkyl amide, and this is an aromatic amide. This is an ethanamide, CH3CuNH2 plus Br2 plus 4KOH. You are getting then methanamine, that is CH3NH2 plus K2CO3 plus 2KBr plus 2H2O. And this is a benzamide, that is, this is an aromatic amide. It is also converting into an aromatic primary amine, that is the aniline in the presence of Br2 and NaOH. And the products will be, the byproducts will be the K2CO3 plus KBr plus water. Anyway, this is a very important methods for the preparation of amines. Next we can discuss a very important section in this amines, that is the basicity of amines. Actually, we know that ammonia consisting of a lone pair electron. We know that the NH3 consisting of two lone pair electron, and in the same way the three kinds of amines, that is a primary amine, secondary amine, tertiary amine, is also consisting of a lone pair electron. And this lone pair of electrons on the nitrogen, that is the lone pair of electron that is existed in the nitrogen atom, have a tendency to donate its electron pair. To whom it is donating? The electrons can be donated to the electron deficient species, and therefore it can act as bases. That is given here. All classes of amines, that means the primary, secondary, tertiary amines, contain a lone pair of electrons on nitrogen atom, which can be donated to an electron deficient species, and therefore it can act as a basis. And that is shown here. This is an ammonia. Ammonia, we know that ammonia consisting of a lone pair electron, and like that of the ammonia, this is a primary amine, secondary amine, and tertiary amine. It consisting of a lone pair electron, and therefore it can donate this pair of electron to an electron deficient compound, and it can act as a basis. Okay, so let us consider an equilibrium for a primary amine. So this is an RNH2 in the presence of water, reversible arrow. You are getting then RNH3 plus OH minus. So we are considering this reaction, the equilibrium for primary amines, RNH2 plus H2O, reversible arrow, RNH3 plus OH minus. And the basicity constant Kb for amine will be, is given as, the Kb will be equal to the ratio of the concentration of the products divided by the concentration of the reactant. That is already discussed in the equilibrium. So I am only discussing the what is the direct equation for the Kb. Kb is written as, it is a ratio of the concentration of the products divided by the reactants, and here it is RNH3, concentration of the square brackets notates the concentration of RNH3 plus into concentration of OH minus divided by RNH2, concentration of RNH2 into concentration of water is there, and the concentration of water is taken as a unity, therefore it is not given here. Anyway, Kb, the equation for Kb is like this, and the equation for Pkb is given as a negative log to the Kb. It is also given that Pkb is the negative log to the Kb. And next, therefore we can say that the similar expression, this Kb expression similar can be written for the secondary and the tertiary amines, and we know one relation is there, that is, the greater the value of Kb, the stronger will be the basic character of the amine. Or otherwise we can say that lower the value of Pkb, then the strong is the basicity of amine. So in this two aspects we can say that the first one is that lower the value of Kb, stronger will be the basic character of amine. Or otherwise we can say that The lower the value of pKb, strong is the basicity of amine. Why it is said so? Just because we know that pKb is equal to minus a log Kb. That is why it is given as in such a way. So here it is given, the lower the value of pKb, the stronger is the basicity of amine. And some value for the pKb, some pKb values for the different amines is given here. So this is an amine, and all the three, CH3NH2, CH3 twice NH, CH3 thrice N as the three aliphatic amines, and C6H5NH2, and this is all the three in the last is given as the aromatic amines. Anyway, we are just comparing with the basicity of the aliphatic amines with the NH3, and also we are comparing the aromatic amines with the NH3. And let us see what is the result. From the values of the pKb, it is understood that the aliphatic amines are stronger base than NH3. Here you can see the aliphatic amine, the value for aliphatic amine, that is CH4, 3.4, not CH4, sorry. It is 3.4 and 3.3, and aliphatic amines are stronger base than NH3. Here this is NH3, the value, the pKb or value of NH3 is 4.7, and here it is 3.4, 3.3. So the aliphatic amines are stronger bases than NH3. Why it is so? This is due to the plus I effect of alkyl groups that is attached to the NH3, leading to high electron density on N. They will give electrons towards N, and will increases the electron density at the N. And next we are comparing the aromatic amines with the NH3. If you are comparing this, we can know that, or we know that the value of aromatic amine is like 9.4, 13, 8.7. And if you are comparing with the NH3, it is very low, 4.7. Therefore, we can say that the aromatic amines having the higher pK value, so what will be the result? So weaker bases than NH3. The higher the pKb value, lower will be the basicity. That is given here. The aromatic amines are weaker bases than the NH3. Why it is so? Due to the electron withdrawing nature of the aryl group, it decreases the electron density on N. If the electron withdrawing nature of the aryl group, that means the electrons are withdrawn from the nitrogen. So therefore the electron density around the nitrogen will be very low. Therefore we can say that the aromatic amines are weak base than NH3. Why? Just because it cannot donate electrons to the electron deficient compounds or electron deficient species. Why? Just because the concentrate or the amount of electrons at the nitrogen is very low. So next we are discussing a very important reaction of amine, not the preparation of amine. This is an important chemical reaction of amine which is normally used in our lab. So that is the carbylamine reaction or Hoffman's carbylamine reaction. So how the reaction is conducted? When the aliphatic and aromatic primary amines, when warmed with the chloroform and alcoholic KOH, and it yield the corresponding carbylamines, and the carbylamines are also called as isocyanides, and these isocyanides have a characteristic foul smell. Foul smell means unpleasant smell, and these reactions are actually known as the carbylamine reaction. That is, if an aliphatic and aromatic primary amines are warmed with a chloroform and in the presence of KOH, it forms a compound, that is carbylamines are also known as isocyanides and having a very unpleasant smell, that is the foul smell, which is called, this reaction is called the carbylamine reaction. And the reaction can be shown as, this is an ethyl amine, this is an aliphatic amine, CH3, CH2, NH2 in the presence of chloroform CHCl3 and alcoholic KOH. It gives an carbylamines or isocyanides, that is called the CH3, CH2, NC, and here it is N and C. Okay, that is ethyl isocyanide or ethyl carbylamine. It is also called the ethyl carbylamine or ethyl isocyanide plus 3 KCl plus 3 water. And this is an example for the aliphatic primary amine is converted into an ethyl isocyanate. And the next is aromatic primary amine. This is an please note that it is an aromatic primary amine, not the secondary and the tertiary amine. So this is aniline is an example for the aromatic primary amine in the presence of chloroform and K oils. It will give an phenyl carbylamine, or otherwise called the phenyl isocyanate. It is called the phenyl carbylamine, or otherwise called the phenyl isocyanate, in the presence of KCl. You will give KCl and water. So this is known as the carbylamine reaction, and the main importance of this reaction is that this reaction will not give a result if we take an aromatic and as well as aliphatic secondary and tertiary amines. This reaction will never give a positive result if we taken an aliphatic or aromatic secondary and tertiary amine. That is given here. The secondary and tertiary amines that do not give the reaction. Therefore, we can see that this is an important reaction which can be used for the distinction between the primary amines from the secondary and tertiary amine. If you are given an amine, and if that amine gives a positive result for this carbylamine reaction, then you can say that that amine is properly a primary amine. And if it is not given a positive test for this reaction, then definitely it may be a secondary amine or tertiary amine. Therefore, we can say that the carbylamine reaction can be used as a test to distinguish between the primary amines from the secondary and tertiary. So this is a very important reaction.